Okay, this video is to just show you how to applique your ring onto your background, and you'll use the same stitch on your center circle. So we're going to start with this inside, and I hope that you can see that I've taken a heavyweight hand quilting thread and I have stitched 1/4 inch away from that raw edge. This is where my seam will turn under. Okay, that heavier thread kind of creates a memory of where the fabric is going to fold. And then I'm going to do just a short amount of space at a time, and I'm going to start right up here, and I'm just going to clip straight in for a small section of time. So maybe like one wedge worth. Okay. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to clip every other basting stitch. And then I've got my needle threaded up with some 50 weight cotton thread. And I just use a neutral. And I'm going to just pick out a little bit of that basting stitch, and I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to fold that under. Now I can see my basting stitches in my background. You can see the holes, sorry, not the basting stitches. And I'm going to just start right here, and you'll see, look, I only have a little itty bitty space that's turned under. Okay, so I'm going to hold that in place, and you only go a little short burst of space at a time. Now I'm going to take a little stitch there and another stitch. Okay, then I'll turn under some more, and see how I'm using my needle to just make that fabric turn under, and it will automatically just turn under right at that little spot. You can see how close my stitches are. The closer the stitches, the better your fabric will turn under, but don't get them too close. You want them about 1/8 of an inch apart. And this is all that you are going to do to get that inner circle appliqued onto that background. Does that make sense? This will take you a little time, but just go slow and it'll work, I promise. Okay, so see how that edge is going to be nice and straight along there. And then when I come back here, when I'm ending, I'll just undo that and make it all blend in. So that is how you're going to applique this. I wanted to show you one more thing, and that's how to tie off. So I'm going to cut this. And I'm not clipping clear up to where my stitch is, because I want it to be a little bit away from there. So I will tie this off in the back. So, and also I'm going into the background, and then I come up in the applique piece. Down in the background and up in the applique piece. Down in the background, up in the applique. And I'm taking a very shallow stitch into that applique piece. Okay, when I'm ready to tie off, I just go to the back. I turn it over. And I'm going to take a little stitch right in the background that's really close to where I came up. I'm going to go through my loop. Whoops, that one didn't work. because see how my stitch, my thread looped. So that would actually maybe come undone a little bit. So always take another stitch, and that will secure that little loop. Usually you don't have that long of thread to knot with when you're ending. This thread is way long. Okay, and then scoot through the back and clip it off. And you can see that my stitch where my background's hooked together is going to be in the middle of where I'm appliquing, or maybe to one side or another. It's going to be covered for sure. Okay, next I'll just show you the applique stitch when it's already turned under. This is going to be much easier because the edge is turned under and you're not basting it in place and then clipping. All right, I'll start right here on this gray piece. So I'm going to come up in the applique piece, my knot is behind, and I'm going to go the same exact stitch down in the background, up in the applique piece, down in the background, up in the applique. And this you'll be able to really just cruise around. The problem that most appliqueurs make is that it's your stitch length. So think 1/8 of an inch. And do not do big old stitches because you don't want anything that's gonna have the quilter hook her presser foot on, or a kid's little finger, or anything. You don't want anything. You want it attached well to the background. Okay, I think that shows you the stitch really well. So that is appliquing the Ring Around the Rosy.